planet Earth is a truly amazing phenomenon. It is the only known planet capable of supporting what we call life, due to its unique combination of factors, like distance from the sun, presence of liquid water, a protective magnetic field, and an insulating atmosphere. There are almost no natural barriers for species to thrive, even as over 70% of our planet is covered by water. Oceans can be unforgiving. Water and air don't stop at man-made barriers, nor do most living species. Then, why would humans? The journey is real. Are open borders actually possible? When we hear politicians talk about border security, we seldom question the idea. We need to make sure criminals and terrorists don't come into our country, and of course, we have to stop the flow of fentanyl. As a result of those requirements, we, as humans, are the least free creatures on Earth. The weather doesn't stop at the border. Neither do the birds. Even the trees send their roots and seeds across those barriers. So why can't we move as freely as they do? What if the idea of border security is completely backwards? I've crossed borders all over the world as a trucker, a cyclist, and a traveler. Some were open and seamless, and others felt like prisons. Here's what I've learned. Much of the world already has open borders, and in many places they work better than closed ones. Today, I'll show you why, and why the biggest barrier to open borders isn't practicality or true security, but fear. Europe dropped internal borders between over 24 countries. The Schengen zone consists of 27 nations, including former enemies, different cultures, and a multitude of languages. And yet people are allowed to move freely between countries. I've lived there, I experienced it, and I love it. You can drive from Germany to the Netherlands without stopping. You don't get interrogated or searched. And life keeps going. Trade, jobs, relationships all thrive. This isn't a theory, guys. It's real. It's happening now. Even parts of Central America have freer movement than people expect. In the CA4 region, citizens of El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua can travel without visas. The world is already experimenting with open borders, and most often it's working. Even the borders of North America have, until recently, allowed for relatively free movement of products. It has created a trade corridor that benefited people in 3 countries. Imagine what truly open borders in that region could do. Still, people aren't convinced. Quite the opposite. Many really worry. Won't immigrants flood rich countries? Won't they take jobs, bring crime, change the culture, and perhaps threaten national sovereignty? These are all valid concerns, but they're mostly based on fear, not evidence. Immigrants tend to commit fewer crimes. They start businesses. They pay taxes. They fill jobs others won't. The real problem isn't people moving. It's inequality, and borders clearly add to that. Instead of building walls, what if we built fairer systems that made staying home more viable and moving abroad less desperate? Free movement of people doesn't necessarily lead to more crime. Integration matters more than exclusion. Economically open borders could double global GDP. Culturally, they allow for a richer exchange, more innovation, more connection. Humanly, they save lives. Fewer people drowning, fewer families split apart. During my own travels, especially through Central America, I saw firsthand how borders often serve not security, but bureaucracy or even corruption. Fees, bribes, delays. It's like a toll booth for your existence. But hey, El Salvador was actually a little bit different. No entry fee, no hassle, just a warm welcome. It showed me what's possible. So if open borders work so well, why don't we have them? Please leave me your comment and what your take is on the subject. I firmly believe that we have borders as we know them because we fear change and because politicians know how to use that fear to win votes. We also still tend to see ourselves as citizens of our country more than citizens of Earth. But hey, we all depend on the well-being of our planet as a whole. Damage in one country affects others. The effects don't stop at the border. As an example, I could list you a whole pile of recent developments in the US that affect people all over the world. Natural disasters, air pollution, water diversion, and of course, political disasters, like a corrupted criminal declaring himself king of a powerful nation. Ring a bell? On the contrary, every time we open the door, whether to goods, ideas, or people, we've grown stronger. What if this was the next step? Cultural exchange and innovation would improve when people move freely. Economic potential could be unlocked because immigrants would fill labor gaps and start businesses. What about human rights? Well, fewer people would die trying to cross deserts, oceans, or even extreme winter conditions like when trying to enter Canada. There would be less corruption due to fewer border fees and middlemen. Borders are breeding grounds for exploitation, as many of the Central American borders tend to prove. I remember my crossing from Belize to Guatemala back in 2013. People in Belize really believed that I was crazy to cross into the neighboring country where violent crime was supposed to lurk everywhere. The reality was that once you got past the border, Guatemala was every bit as peaceful as Belize, possibly more so. Borders attract conmen, opportunists. I know that from personal experience too, having exchanged currencies at the Honduras border with a random guy once because it was convenient and it seemed to solve a problem I had. Well, it created another, as I found out later when my money didn't go as far as I had planned. Borders are just lines on the map. They protect some, and often those that don't really need it, and trap others. We made them. We can rethink them. Open borders won't fix everything, but they could unlock a future where more people can live freely and fully. Well, if you crossed a border that changed you, or one that tried but failed to keep you out, I'd love to hear your story in the comments. And hey, maybe there's even a border that stands in your way right now. If you'd like to help reimagine what freedom really means, maybe hit that subscribe button. Thank you. I'll see you soon in another video.